All right, today we're going to show you how to do a little bit of laminate. Putting a little lamination on the edge of these countertops. So this is contact glue. We'll put just enough on there, 1 or 2 coats. Make sure it gets tacky. You're going to put a coat on the actual edge of the counter, and then you're going to put a coat on the edge of the laminate. And then you wait for it to get tacky and stick it together. All right, stand by. right, we've got them all glued up. Now we're ready to go ahead and start putting them together. So you'll see that I've got glue on the strips, just enough. It's just tacky. So it's not dry, but it's tacky. Then I'll put it on here, I'll get it close to the edge. I'll center it just using my fingers. And I'll make sure I've got a little bit of overhang on all sides. Once I've got that, I'll stick it down there. And then I take this clean cut edge and I'm going to butt it right to the edge, but on the other side of the cabinet, all right? Got it stuck, you'll take a block and you'll just pressure that on there. It's contact adhesive, so the more you press, the better it's going to contact. Stuff is really good, but it's pretty strong smelling, so you want to make sure you're in a very ventilated area. So that's for the bottom one. Now we're going to do the top one. Same process. Going to split it. And we're going to press it on. Again, we're going to take that clean edge. Hopefully you'll be able to see this, and we're going to put it nice and tight right to that edge. Make sure there's no gap between the front laminate and the side laminate. Put it on tight. Squeeze it on real good. Press it down real good. And we're going to do the last edge over here. You can just break this off. I just made it extra big because I had extra. So I'm going to take that right on there like that. So the only thing I like to caution you about is when you're putting pressure on this, don't break this. So you want to just put pressure right to the edge, but not over it, okay? There you go. Now you're going to go inside your pantry. You're going to steal some Crisco grease. And you're just going to take a little bit on your fingertip. And you see where this laminate meets this laminate. You're just going to put one little swipe. Just a little Crisco. That way it keeps that laminate from burning when you use the router. Everywhere that there's laminate meeting laminate, we're going to do that. Probably don't want to bring that Crisco back in the house. I always keep a little bag handy. Next is the final step for the edges. So this is called a laminate trimmer. It's got a really small bit and it's designed just to trim the laminate off of the wood, but without cutting down into the wood. Gets a little noisy, and you always want to go opposite direction of the way the blade is turning. So if you ran the direction the blade turned, it would be like a wheel and it would roll and it wouldn't cut very good. So you want to go opposite direction, okay? Next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and press it down one more good time. Make sure it adheres really nice to the plywood. Notice I turned this one around because I'm getting ready to belt sand it. I try and use about an 80 grit sandpaper with just a standard quarter cable belt sander. The key to doing this is you don't want to roll your edges. You want to keep that belt sander as flat as possible, and you want to make sure that those edges stay nice and flat. So when we put the top laminate on, we got a nice clean seam. So I'm feeling right now, and I'm feeling for any raised edges. I want this laminate perfectly flush with plywood. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to just give it a slight bevel so that if we drag it across anything, we don't end up chipping the laminate. So now we're going to do the same thing on this one. And you notice I got some glue overspray where I rolled the edges. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and sand that nice and even too. The same thing, we want to turn it over, and we just want to give it a slight bevel.